Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mad Games GX here, and we do have another replay commentary for you guys. This time it is against Snake Eye Yubel, and I am going to be going first for this one, and 40 versus my 60, or I think it's 52 card at this point. I have Allure of Darkness, Branded Fusion, Thrust, Albaz, and Branded Fusion, so definitely not a bad hand. And we draw into High Spirits, Triple Tactics Talents. I banish the Albaz, then I go Allure, and then yeah, off the Allure of Darkness, then I obviously have to go Branded Fusion. I do have the Thrust. He doesn't have Ash, thank God. So I go Tragedy Albaz, which is typically the best line to go if you don't have a normal summon, so you can acquire the Branded or the Aluber and extend harder into that. So we go Lubellion, pitch the other Branded Fusion. No, we pitch the other Thrust. And then we go Tragedy Chain Link 2. He's thinking about Magnemudding here, but that makes no sense. So he just lets that through. And then we get the Aluber. And we spin back the Albaz and the Lubellion for then the Mirror Jade. We then normal summon the Aluber. Aluber's going to then get the Branded Opening, which then gets us into our full Cartesia combo. So then we can go Branded Fusion. Or sorry, search the Branded Opening off Aluber. Branded Openings, pitch the High Spirit so we can get back in the end phase. And then go Guiding Quem effect to then special summon Earth to send the Cartesia. This way we can then go the Mirror Jade to send for cost the Albion, and then we can just banish our useless Aluber, and then this also triggers Quem since a card left the extra deck, and then it can trigger the Quem, or the Cartesia, but he actually gets me really hard here. He nibs. This is why I mentioned in the Plunder Patrol replay, where if you just Nibiru right here on when Cartesia uses effect, but you also have nothing in hand, well, that just means that you are boned. So unfortunately, that's what happened, but I do have Thrust now, which is pretty live, which is pretty good, and also Mirror Jade to clear his board. So I'm going to be able to go Triple Tactics Thrust into get a Fusion Duplication, and that is going to, or no, I think I debate on that, and then I go Fusion Duplication, set, and then he goes Magnemut here, which is interesting, because obviously he's able to then get another Bystial if he wants, which sucks, but yeah, he banishes the Albion, which is pretty good, and then in the end phase, or I get my Cartesia, and then he gets to, or I get my High Spirits, and then he's able to search out Druid Swarm, which is really not good for me. But let's see, because I only have the duplication, that kind of takes away my way to Gimmick Lock. So he goes Tractus, he searches the Lurry, pitches the Lurry, and then I go Fusion Duplication. Here, if he just, I go Albaz plus Saronir into Lubellion, and then I go pitch the High Spirits into Chainlink to Saronir. Saronir is going to pitch another Retribution. And then spin back the Albaz into Mirror Jade. I just end up banishing the Lurry, because at this point I'm putting him on better habit. If he has no way to Snake Eye Engine or Yubel board, I'm doing just fine at this point. I don't know if he's on Yubel or Snake Eye, and so I banish the Lurry. This is typically the right call if you just Mirror Jade the Lurry, because it stops their Link 1 plays and it puts them on really better habit, and as you guys see, that was just enough to kind of get the win. So now we're going to go into game 2, and I'm going to be going, and that was without Gimmick Puppet too, which was pretty cool. So I'm going to be going second. He's on Ash, Double Solemn, Nightmare Pain, and the Fiendsmith. I'm on Shaddoll Fusion, Aluber, Branded Opening, Fusion Deployment, and Dark Ruler No More. So I actually have a really, really good hand, honestly, for breaking a board. So let's see if this is enough, though, because he has Double Solemn Judgment, which is pretty good. He goes Fiendsmith into Tractus into Lurry, link off the Lurry into the Requiem effect, get the Engraver from deck. And then he could get the, oh yeah, and then he's able to spin back for the Fiendsmith to special summon, link off for the Sequentia effect to get the Lacrimosa, and then Lacrimosa effect get the Fiendsmith, and now he's able to go into the Beatrice, or no, he's going to the Yama, interestingly enough. Yeah, this makes sense, so he can get into the Unchained Engine, get the Shavara, get the Nightmare Pain, and then Nightmare Pain pop the Yama, get the Samsara Lotus, which, yeah, no, this makes sense. Then Samsara Lotus banish to get the Spirit Yubel effect, pop to then use, or to get out the Yubel, and then we can spec out the Spirit of Yubel. Then we link off the Lacrimosa and Shivara for the Unchained Soul of Rage, which is important for the Unchained engine, and then we are able to use its effect, or Yama's effect, to get the Trap from deck, and then we link off our 3 for a 3-mat Apo, and then we are able to spin back the 2 Yubel card, or the Samsara and plus Yubel for the Phantom of Yubel. And I'm pretty sure he would have preferred to keep the Samsara in graveyard, but that's fine. He ended up selling Double Solemn, though. If he didn't really have the Double Solemn, though, this would be a lot better. So I'm go Dark Ruler no more on first, but he goes Solemn Judgment. I was not expecting that, all things considered. So then I go Branded Fusion, or Shadal Fusion. He has an Ash, so just the fact he has an Ash too, just like ends up ruining it a lot. And then I go into Fusion Deployment and chain opening, so I can chain block the Appaloosa. And then I go chain link 1 Fallen of Albaz, chain link 2 Allure, so I'm able to fuse off the Appaloosa, negating the Appaloosa. And also I'm able to chain block another Solemn this way, which is really nice. And I think that was the correct play, and then I go Mirror Jade. I'm just like on no cards at this point, unfortunately. And then he goes Phantom of Yubel in order to tribute to pop the spirit to summon the Yubel. And then I have to attack into the Yubel because of the Nightmare Pain, so I take 3, and then he goes Unchained, and then he's able to link off my Mirror Jade into a SP Lil Knight. I go Mirror Jade effect. He banishes the Albion, so all my follow-up is gone, and I just scoop at this point because I have nothing else to play. If I had like something like a fusion deployment or duplication, I would have been able to keep playing, so that's something to consider. So I'm going to go first this game. He draws Emperor Magnamut Dark Ruler plus Samsara plus Terra Incarnate, and I draw Brand Fusion openings, Dark Mercourier, and Maxima. So you guys see I'm on a little bit of spice on this list. This was like very early into my testing this format. And then Gold Sark banish Mercourier. Mercourier effect. We'll then search out the Cartesia. We'll go normal Cartesia into the opening to pitch the Maximus. We don't really need the Maximus. Then we go Aluber, search the red since we already have Branded Fusion to try to play around Ash Blossom. And then we go Lubellion Albaz into Albion so that we can get the Branded Lost access. And then we go Albion effect, banishing the Dogmatica Maximus plus Albaz for the Sanctifier so that we can just tribute over and keep these cards in hand, because I didn't want to go Lubellion the Searing Dragon in order to like discard one of these cards, and then I'm able to. But he goes Imperm on the Blazing Cartesia, which is interesting. I probably would have Impermed the Lubellion, all things considered, because I'm gonna get Cartesia no matter what. So I mean, no, that it's fine. But then I can go Branded Retribution, which plays around his Bystial. Although I do have to spin back the Albion, but it's fine. I think I have a Mercourier in hand, so that's fine. He draws Ash Blossom, which is not very good. And then he goes Dark Ruler, which gets around the Sanctifier, though. That is the issue. Then he goes Samsara. I just Mercourier that. And then he goes Bystial Magnamut on the Albion. I just go Retribution to negate Destroy, and that is the game.